trying to think if there's anything where I'm like, hey, where I feel like I'm like, okay, I don't want
about an hour, and then, yeah, those look good. Lighting looks better than it did before. All right, perfect. Monterey, welcome back to Podcastina.
Hello, hi, thank you for having me again.
Look at us.
Look, we're doing it. We're in Austin, and we're in Texas. We're big Texas girls now.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Yeah, don't ever do that again, but yeehaw.
For all the people listening, I sound like RFK because I did just get vaccinated.
You sound sexy and hot, actually.
That's the problem with losing my voice and sounding raspy like this is that I like it better than my regular voice. I especially like my raspy laugh. I'm like, oh, this is sexy. I don't want my voice to go back.
I do like it a lot, so we got to figure out a way to string your vocal cords at all times.
I know. I'm like, do I smoke again? What should I do?
Did you used to smoke cigarettes?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're such a secret bad girl. Yeah.
People were surprised to learn that I was like a pot smoker,
tattoos, emo, and cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. It doesn't seem like that at all because you seem like such a goop, like Gwyneth Paltrow girly. But it's like those are your two like main archetypes or whatever.
Yes.
Like the secret dark bad girl, and then the healthy, organic,
gym
girly.
Yeah, I'll take it. Those are good archetypes.
Yeah,
that's maybe that's my Gemini shit. Because those are
the two dueling signs. Yes. One, you're May. Wait, let me guess. I'm gonna say May 11th.
Oh no, and that would be a Taurus.
Oh, is that a okay? Because Gemini starts the end of May to the beginning of June. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the opposite. So then you are May 22nd.
I'm not. I'm June 5th.
Oh, you're June 5th. Okay. So you're towards the end, right? Or is that the middle?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Okay, yeah. June 5th. That's a good. Having a summer birthday. That's good. Not growing up because then nobody knew in school, and you didn't get cupcakes.
Well, I would have sometimes. I had my birthday land on like finals week.
Oh, okay.
Which was always bullshit.
Yeah, because then everybody's like in their most stressed out that they could be, and no one's gonna be like, "Happy birthday, Galina!" And you're like, "I need this."
When's your birthday?
November, Scorpio.
Ooh.
November 2nd.
Do you agree with what they say about Scorpios?
I do. I think there's like evolved Scorpios though for sure, it naturally like went with age for me because when I was younger I was definitely way more of a jealous, possessive person, and I don't just mean in like intimate relationships, but even with like my girlfriends, like if my friend had another friend, I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? So I was like very possessive with my girlfriends. And I'm for sure possessive with my partners now. I've learned how to like tame it down a bit, but the people that I've been the most possessive with just so happen to be the people that cheated on me. So it's like, oh, was there something in the ethers that I'm sensing? But I've had partners that I don't have that like, with, and that is now what I'm going for, where it's like, if my adrenaline is spiking, I know that this is probably not good, but in my younger years, I definitely was like, the adrenaline is a synonym for love, and that's just not true.
There's nothing wrong with going through that when you're younger. I do think it's like a rite of passage, and every woman has her I can fix him phase or I'm the exception phase. Mm-hmm. It becomes problematic when you don't learn from it.
Totally. And I think after like my I guess maybe my 5th major relationship, which has been like the last one where it failed. I remember like where I was too. I was showering and I was like going through like another breakup, and I was like, and I just remember like having the thought where I go, and it's true because it's like you could see all the things on social media or whatever being like, and it's this and it's that and it's this and it's that, but it's like until you actually arrive at the information like through experience, no information being told to you or anything you're being, that you're learning in a book or on a video, it's like it just doesn't land until you naturally arrive at it. And when I naturally arrived at the point where I'm like, oh, even if all these people are toxic, this person cheated on me or this person put their hands on me or whatever, it's like at some point I still have to take accountability for me being attracted to these certain people. And that's when I was like, I always felt justified in leaving everybody, which, I still do, but I'm like, all right, let's back it up one more thing before that. It's like, why are you attracted to these people? And for me, of course, obviously daddy issues.
Yeah. Every time we crack the code, it's always back to daddy.
Yeah, and I have daddy and mommy issues, but you know, just in just the people that I was attracted to, which to this day, it's like I do like more alpha type of men, but it's like finding the balance of like a person, you know, because I'm a dominant personality, and it's like I'll run the fuck over you if you don't have a backbone. And usually I'm not attracted to men that I can dominate, but. So it's like having a man who's like alpha where they're secure and I feel protected and I feel like if shit went down, they have a plan or, you know, they can get us out of there or whatever. But finding that, but also finding someone who's emotionally intelligent and also cool with our jobs. Like we're around a bunch of male comics, we're out late, we have to travel.
He needs to be secure.
Yeah, and we have to be online, like hello, there's tons of strangers in your DMs or whatever, and it's like the level of security plus like the level of like manliness plus the level of can handle like a strong independent woman and also someone who's not MAGA, God bless. It's just like I'm not saying you can't be conservative. I don't mind people who are
conservative and MAGA are different.
Exactly.
But MAGA's mentally ill.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just so it's slim pickings out there, girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I know you know because you're single too, and we're in our 30s, and it's interesting.
Is there a story you think of that was like a formative moment of like, oh, this is the last time I'm gonna date somebody like this? I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, I think my last two major relationships where the thing that was hard is that there wasn't anything very specific about the outer presentation of someone that I could be like, okay, I'm kind of dating the same person. But there were definitely things for me. What I noticed was that I usually tended to get in relationships when I was sad or when I was down or when my life was like in chaos. And then I was, unfortunately using a relationship unknowingly as a vice or as escapism or distraction from like my own pain and my own bullshit. But it took me a while to like really realize that. And when I was with one of my like last people, I resented this person so much and I couldn't figure out where this resentment was coming from. But it was, he could be chewing and I was like, oh my God. Or just the music he listened to, the way he walked, what he ordered for sushi. I'm like, it's just a bunch of tempura rolls. Where's the raw fish? We need some sashimi. You got no class, just like little stupid thing. And it's like, of course, I'm like keeping most of it inside. But, and I would just like, I would nitpick all these things that I was really unhappy about. And I was like, oh, what's really happening is it's like, I'm mad at myself. Because I know that this person is not a person that I would be dating in any circumstance or, as a person that I feel like I'm genuinely aligned with. But, again, I was sad, chaotic, whatever. I was like bouncing around like homes at the time. And it's like, you think that this person who like makes you laugh or something that you're like, okay, I can make this work. And so then when I would start to get myself out of that hole, the resentment was so clear because I'm like, oh, you're really mad at yourself because you really just, you're just here because he's, it sounds bad, but it's like a drug where it's like, okay, let me get high and then I can go about my day. Okay, let me get high. And it's like, nobody wants to be getting high.
Yeah.
So that was the last time where it's like, I will never date again from a situation where my life is in chaos or when I feel like I'm down or when I feel like I'm unhappy. I just won't date from that position ever again because you tend to choose people who are a reflection of like where you're at.
That's real.
Yeah.
I would love your feedback I went on my first date in Austin.
Yes.
2 weekends ago. It was a disaster.
I know. I'll tell you about my disaster date from Hinge after too.
So, I don't do like a ton. I don't have like a metric of how much back and forth I have with somebody on an app before I meet them. I kind of just get excited if someone's like, all right, let's go on a date. Let's set it up. There was like a tiny bit of banter back and forth. And then he was like, okay, let's get a date in the books. And I'm like, all right, new to the city, excited to get taken out somewhere.
How old is he, by the way?
Let's do it, 39.
Okay. So I wanted to check that because I was like, wait a minute, is this the same person? But yeah, keep going, yeah.
So I get to the date and couple things. I'm very judgmental. I know, I've had people tell me I'm very self-aware. I know I'm judgmental. I don't pathologize how judgmental I am because unfortunately I'm always correct.
Yeah, I don't think being judgmental is a bad thing. I think being judgmental is necessary for like, because people always say like, oh, you shouldn't judge a book. It's like, no, you shouldn't make assumptions about other people. Like making assumptions is bad, but making judgments, it's like, if someone told me that they, that they're interviewing for nannies and their nanny has they're a felon, and I know it's like, oh, we should give second chance. That's great. Have that second chance be with the church or with their significant other. It's not going to be with me as a employer for my children. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like there's times it's like no, a judgment is like sometimes it's like protection, and sometimes it's like a process of eliminating where you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Oh, you smoke cigarettes. Oh, you drink Diet Cokes and eat chips in your bed every day. It's like whatever. It's like it's not. There's no it's like I don't do that with my life. So it's like I know that we're not gonna be compatible. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, God bless you, but I am gonna make a decision. I am gonna judge, hey, we might not be in alignment because I don't want to eat chips in fucking bed.
So I could just tell off his physicality that something was gonna be amiss. He was just, and I like really tatted people, but he had like bad tattoos, like a lot of bad tattoos. And a peculiar facial piercing that was not in his photos.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, weird. Like a derma piercing.
I don't even know what that is.
Like just on his cheek.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, a little weird.
A
little off. And it was giving like deadbeat dad. Like I know you don't have kids, but I feel like if you did, they wouldn't see you.
You was gone on the weekends.
That was his vibe. And he had a job. I could tell like his bills were paid. But also, if it was like 100 years ago, he would have been like a hobo at a train station. Like he would have been the guy with like a stick and a bindle, like just drifting from town to town.
And you got all of this just from the tattoo and the face piercing. You're a hobo 100 years ago, just so you know.
1,000%. But then he's talking to me and he's telling me about how he like had a dog but didn't, and sounded like a terrible dog owner. He's like, I guess this was my dog. It would come around, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh, you're just letting this dog go, but it comes around sometimes, and you give it pizza. I'm like, that's not having
pizza
a dog.
of all things. That's amazing.
So, but I'm trying to be open-minded, and I'm trying to listen to people telling me to give second chances, whatever. And he had wanted to go from the place where we met, where we were just like having a drink. He goes, we have lunch reservations at this place, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. You made us lunch reservations. Like, I'll, at that point, I hadn't heard anything too crazy from him to abandon lunch. So I go to lunch with him, where he proceeds to tell me that at 39, ripe years old, man has never been on an airplane.
Oh, bless. Oh, bless. I mean, because at first I'm like, he could grow up poor, and like I grew up very poor. I didn't, get on a plane until I moved to California and finally like had to just get up the curve. But it's like, I grew up very poor, Section 8 food stamps, and I have been able to go on a plane. So it's like, you can figure it out, but.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
You can figure it out.
So I had a follow-up question of, do you have a passport? He's like, no, of course he doesn't have a passport. Who's never been on a plane and has a passport?
Right.
That in and of itself would be a weird red flag. I'd be like, is it your name on the passport? His name is on that passport. What was the other insane thing that he said to me? He kept...
Did he say why he doesn't? Does he have a fear, or is he just like, I don't like traveling, I just like being where I am?
He kind of goes, well, I just feel like I've been all around the world because of who I've met, so it's like I've traveled everywhere without traveling at all, you know what I mean? And I go, no, I don't.
That's so funny.
It's not how that works.
I have a bit about saying where it's like, I mean, I still travel though, but I always say like, dating people outside of your race is like your pedestrian way of traveling. It's like, do I want to really go and see other countries to learn culture? It's like, I'm just gonna date somebody different. You get everything you need to know. But there's more to that. But anyway, so it's like I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, no, you have to physically see the architecture and like how the society like moves and shakes and how they, how their airports look, how their fucking goddamn plugs, like what are these things called? Like, have you ever been to, I went to like Japan.
The converters.
Whatever. It's like everything's so different. And so, I mean, I guess, but I get what you're saying, but
it's just a priorities thing too.
Like,
right. Yeah. He could fly anywhere. Like, I doubt he'd ever been to New York or like LA or anything like that. I think he just was kind of driving around the South,
Yeah.
bouncing around, doing hobo life and
For sure. I love
hobo
that
life
you
in the
keep calling
21st
this man
century.
hobo life. You know, this carny hobo.
he was hashtag carny hobo.
Yeah.
For sure. But to me, I've never had like a ton of extra income, like spendable income either. But I've always made it a priority to travel.
Yeah,
I
you
max
figured
out a
out.
credit card so I can like go on to Costa Rica with my friends, because to me it's more important to have the experience
For
than
sure.
to like be worried about my finances. I'm like, my finances are gonna plague me no matter what. Let me go have an invaluable life experience.
For sure. Or it's like you can get jobs. Like there's these things called like work exchange programs. Like, you know, I've gotten to travel. I haven't been to Europe yet, but it's like I've been to Asia and I've been like to Mexico and Canada, and then obviously because of our job, I've been all over the States like featuring for people. But it's like there's work. I would respect it so much more if he was just honest and said like, hey, like, you know, I kind of had like a shitty upbringing and like we were poor, and I know that I have sometimes like that poor mentality where I have a fear of like spending money, and I have a fear of, you know, going into the unknown. But like one day I hope that I travel, but as of now it's like it's just like kind of stunted like my ability to like want to, or you know what I mean, if he was just like open and, you know,
that would have been like a vulnerability. There wasn't any of that. There was this weirdness, and then it was also made extra horrendous by the fact that he, and I don't like to use these therapy terms that are so just in
Pop
lexicon
psychology.
today, pop psychology terms, but he truly was love bombing me. He was so excited about me. He kept being like, "You're so hot. We're gonna do this. We're
well,
gonna
you
do
are
that."
so hot.
Thank you, but like, there's something about trying to make all these plans with me on a first date. And being like, I'm going to take you to this, we're going to do that, let's do this, oh, can we do this next week? And meanwhile, I'm like pretty, like my wall just keeps getting higher and higher the more I learn about him. So I'm pretty shut down at this point. So I'm like, what is it you're even liking? Like, first of all, you don't really know me, you're not really like taking in any information about me, you're just loving the idea of me. And to me, that's such, I think everybody should come in super suspicious. I think it should be like, okay, we're trying to figure out what this is and if it can get serious at all. Like, I'm very intentionally dating, looking for a husband, looking for like the father of my kids. I'm not going to assume anything about you, and I want you to come in and match my energy of not assuming anything about me either. So if you're getting overly excited about me, I know it's not about me specifically. So that to me always, like, my hackles kind of go up.
Totally. I think you nailed it on the head when you said, you know, you're like, well, what do you like about me? Like, I'm shut down at this point, and I'm being such a one-dimensional version of myself just trying to get through this. And it's like, you like the idea of like, you know, having someone, or they think how they get someone to like them back is to, create this fake narrative of like, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and you're gonna meet my mom, she's so cool. And it's like, hey, let's see if the real connection is here first. And I think people who are insecure, you know, they tend to be like these people pleasers, and he's just love bombing and trying to like please you by thinking like, oh, if I build a future with her and I, you know, involve her, then she'll like me. And it's like, no, I gotta know who the fuck you are at your core, and then I'll like you.
I gotta watch you pass a TSA screening at least for once.
I gotta see you stamp one country on your passport, bud, and then you're in, alright?
I gotta know if you're a window or an aisle guy. I can't go forward without that information.
Totally. Bless. How did that date end? Like, did he try to kiss you? Or were you just like, okay, bye? Like,
it was, oh my gosh. So he was trying to like touch me a lot during the date, which also made me like so shut down. Because he kept like trying to put a hand on the small of my back, or just like he was fist bumping me quite a bit, which is like
fist bumping me quite a bit. Say no more, sisters. Say no more.
There was a lot of that. At one point, he like gets behind me while we're walking and like hugs me and kisses the back of my head, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
No.
This is too much. When I'm like not giving, mind you, I'm giving him nothing. Because I'm like giving 10% less, like as every 20 minutes goes by, I'm like shutting down more and more and more, because I'm learning more, and I'm like more skeeved out. Like, with every fist bump, I'm that much more reserved.
And minus 10. And minus 10.
And so I was like, I don't know how to get rid of him. He keeps continuing to try to make plans and to try to get me like commit to doing something the following week.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you're going out of town, you're coming back this day. Like, when are we making? Let's get something on the calendar. And it's like, sir,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It sounds like he just went through a breakup, and I guarantee you, like,
Maybe.
his significant other has like moved on, or his ex person like moved on, and he's like, I gotta be right there with them. Like, somebody who's like that. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Now, if you guys were like, you had so much chemistry and you guys are cracking up laughing and you have so many things in common and it just seems so organic, I could see someone being like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to be my mom, you know what I mean? But it's like, if you're saying that you're like, I'm literally so shut down and I'm really giving this person nothing, and they're still like, it's like, those are the people where it's like, you just need a robot, bud. You need a physical AI, like, I mean, they'll make them, these like sex dolls,
Yeah.
like, it'll happen. And it's like, just get you one of those, because you really don't even need me to be here.
Yeah.
You really don't. God bless. And I'm glad you did like a day thing, like during the day, like lunch, whatever. So much more chill. Yeah, it's rough out there. And the thing is too, it's like I've realized where it's like, I love a lot of men. Obviously, we are comics. We're around so many men all the time. And I grew up a tomboy. I know you played. What did you play? Were you volleyball?
No, I wasn't particularly.
Oh, okay. I don't know why.
Thank you for assuming I was athletic.
I was like, you were something.
I ran a little bit of track poorly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, and that's all right. You know, she's athletic now. She works at the gym.
What'd you?
Oh, I also ran track too for a little bit, but I ended up quitting in the summer because I was like, it's too hot. But then I was just like a tomboy with like all like the neighborhood kids on the street, but I also danced and like cheerleaded. And I know a lot of people are like, those aren't sports. Yeah, they are. We are a competitive team.
Yeah,
Shut up. But I always was like friends with all the guys, and this is like when I'm like little kid, like 11, so it's not like sexual or anything like that. But it's like we were playing kickball, we're playing baseball, we're, you know, racing each other, whatever, just doing all that bullshit. But so I've always had like a lot of guy friends and girls too, like equal. But in our 30s, it's just like the level of, I meet a lot of good men all the time. They're usually married. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like I have so many men that I work with at my job where they work at like security or whatever. Oh my God, such great dudes. They're married, they have girlfriends, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you. But it's like single men in their 30s, it's just, and I know people could be like, well, what about single women in their 30s? Sure, there's a lot of us that have a lot of fucked up issues or whatever, but it's like for both parties, for both genders, it's like the proportion of like normal and healthy and attractive and cool, it's getting dicey. Yeah. It's getting pretty dicey out there. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'm probably just gonna meet a guy who's divorced, because it's like, yeah, I don't know. And maybe I'll end up meeting a guy where I'm like, here we go. But I don't know if that's gonna happen, Galina. I don't know.
I'm trying to remain optimistic.
Yeah.
Oh, but to tell you how we left it off. So
yeah.
I couldn't get rid of him, right? He kept like thinking that the date was going well.
Yeah.
So
you're like, so we got matching tattoos.
We got matching tattoos. Well, eventually he tried to do another. I don't know if he was like trying to grab my hand. Well, he made a whole thing of telling the waiter that he really didn't want garlic in his food because he was like, oh, I can't have garlic on my breath. And I'm like, ew, you're thinking we're gonna make out?
Ew,
why are you saying that?
Oh my God.
And at one point he like made some lovey-dovey comment as we're walking, and he's trying to follow. I'm like, I'm gonna run. We were on South Congress. I'm like, I have errands to run here. He's like, I'll come with you. And I'm like, how do I get rid of this guy?
No.
I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what train station.
No, me and my
I
friend
to
run errands. Yeah.
But I was like, you're pretty corny. I said that to him because I knew I just like needed to do something for you.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just risk it.
Yeah.
And tell him he's corny. Finally, he's like, okay, and like still keeps talking to me.
Yeah.
Finally, I like get him to his car. I cross the street, leave.
Yeah.
He texts me a couple hours later, and he goes, oh, well, since you think I'm corny, I'm guessing you don't like me, and just so you know, the feeling's mutual. By the way, you should lighten up a bit. You're pretty tense. I'm like, oh, you feel like you need to reject me because I rejected you.
Oh,
babe.
Yeah, and it's like, don't you understand that I'm tense because you're a bad vibe to be around?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and bless his heart, like, I understand that, you know, it's two people and you're meeting, you're both strangers. And so, you know, somebody else could meet him and they could think he's the belle of the ball, whatever. But it's like, for him to not pick up on like, okay, like there's not a natural chemistry connection here.
Right.
And instead of like forcing it, he could have just did what you did, and you guys just both just kind of like be a little bit more reserved, and you're like, okay, well, like this was nice, okay, have a good night, or you know, whatever. But his ego or pride, whatever, wasn't allowing it. It was kind of forcing it to the point where like you were forced to reject him. And it's like, if you could have just, you know, been smooth and been cool, like, all right, we're probably not vibing, or you know, we tried, and like, hey, it was nice meeting you, you know, like he could have just kept his pride and just walked away. But yeah, when you get cornered, it's like, I'm gonna have to be like, yo, back the fuck up, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, then they're like, whoa, and it's like, hey, then let's go over your last 2 hours of hanging out. You don't think that any of this was not appropriate?
He left me no choice.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I would never like just call someone corny or like insult them in any way on a date.
Yeah.
It was like I felt like I had already pulled out all the stops,
mm-hmm.
and none of it was working.
Yeah. Brutal. Bless.
Have you ever had to do that? Like, have you had to just bail on a date?
I've wanted to. So my rule used to be that I would not go out on a date, because I went on a date a long time ago when I was like 23 or something, and I met this person organically. I used to work at this restaurant in Beverly Hills where the owners were psychos. But anyway, and this guy was like a regular. He'd come in all the time and we'd like chat or whatever. And one time he called the restaurant. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, do you want this to the sandwich? And he was like, no, actually, I was like hoping to ask you out. And I was like, oh my God. And he was very sweet. And, you know, like I said, I had already like interacted with him, so I knew that there was like some potential there already. And so we decided to go on a date, and sorry. And we go to the movie. But before we go to the movie, we grab some food, and he is telling me a story about how when his dad had died, and it was like a while ago, so it's like I'm not being insensitive or anything, but you know, his dad died and left him a bunch of debt, and like he could not stop talking about his financial debt, like to the point where I felt very uncomfortable and awkward. So I was like, do you, and I wasn't saying it in a shitty way, I was like saying it in a very like empathetic way. I was like, do you want me to like cover this? Like, ooh, sorry, spinach.
Monty's offended.
Yeah, he's like, don't be paying for no man, bitch. Thank you, that's a good reminder. I went 50-50 with too many men. You okay?
Okay.
You okay? Monty, you okay?
Come here.
Oh, someone has like a stroller or something with a car in here. But yeah, he was like, he kept talking about his finances, like to the point where I was like, okay, do you want me to pay for this? And then, and he's like, no, it's okay. And then we went to go see, it was like some James Bond movie, I don't remember, but I remember the whole entire time, you know, I'm like naturally like jumpy or whatever, because it's like shooting scenes or whatever, and so I'm like, oh, and he kept being like, are you okay? I was like, they're not shooting me, okay? Like, Monty, puppy, baby, you okay? You're okay. Oh, his fat paws, I can't. You got the cutest fat paws that I ever did see. No, Monty.
Come here,
Just
jail.
a bundle of
Jail.
fat love. I love him so much. And anyway, so then, so he owned this townhouse or whatever that his dad left him. And so after, and I felt bad, and he like kept talking about his dead dad. And well, people got a dead dad, you gotta listen, you know, this is serious, they got a dead dad. And he's like, do you want to see like my paintings that I painted after my dad died? And I was like, he's really using this dead dad thing. And so, and again, I'm young, I'm like 23 or something. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm like, sure. And I look at these paintings and they're bad. You can imagine, they're not good. And he's like, yeah, he's like, this was the painting that I did after, he's like, yeah, I was hooked on heroin from...
Oh, cherry on top.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and now there's heroin, okay. And again, no it's not a judgment on you. It's a judgment on me saying, I know that I won't be compatible with this person because my dad's a drug addict. My dad's still missing. We don't know where the fuck he is. And it's just too much of a trigger for me, you know, where it's like, some people could look at that like, wow, what a vulnerable man. Like, he was able to express something that was so, you know, debilitating in his life, and he was able to get over it, whatever. But for me, as a person who's, you know, like I said, been around a real drug addict and watched the back and forth to this day as a woman in her motherfucking 30s, it's like, I don't, for whatever reason, I don't have the belief that that it's ever over, you know? And it's like, it might be, I have dated another recovering drug addict. Are we seeing a theme? And he had been sober for 11 years, but he did shrooms spiritually one time, and then he always wanted to do shrooms. And I'm like, and then also, like, if I'm busy, he's like, we still have to have sex. Like, I'll come over, I'll just fuck you and leave. And I'm like, this is addiction. Like, it's just moving into another realm, you know? But anyways, back to this dead guy. I like literally was just, I had to just be like, I think I'm gonna get a parking ticket. Like, it's I don't know what to say. I was like, I think I'm gonna get it. Now I have no problem. Like, and it's not even like that I'm trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's like, I'm gonna be honest to a motherfucking, like, up top degree, because my whole life, it's like, yeah, you've been scared to hurt people's feelings, or you've been scared to, like, make them feel bad or whatever, but it's like, I am not sacrificing, like, my peace and my happiness just so that this stranger that I'm never gonna see ever again feels better. It's like, hey man, you're talking about the dead too much, and God bless you painted pictures while you were on heroin. I hope these were out while you were on heroin, because if these were sober, I don't know, it doesn't feel like art. But yeah, so I just got better at being like, hey, I'm not having a good time. I went on a date recently here. I actually deleted my Hinge after this. I have a rule, because back in the day, I think this was when I was in New York, I had downloaded, I've only had bad luck on dating apps. One time, I met a guy who was like a Batman impersonator, not professionally, just for fun, but not something like Batman. And
That's
then,
horrible.
Oh, it was a nightmare. And then,
did he say anything?
He was like, don't go in the dark. Like, he kept doing stuff like that to me. He's like, if you back up, then I'm like, okay, this isn't attractive. But another time, so this was when I was in New York, and this is my first time downloading the app, because I had lived in LA for so long, and when I moved to New York, I was like, I don't have a network out here, I don't know anybody, like, I have to, like, get on a dating app. And so I joined whatever, I think it was Bumble, and this is before voice prompts, you guys. You don't understand life before voice prompts, okay? And I match with this guy, and we're having a back and forth, like, throughout the whole day, like, texting, and I was like, oh, we have good vibes, we have good chemistry, he had a good job, I think he was like a lawyer or something, and I'm like, what are people complaining about? This was so easy. And then so we meet up at this bar, and I'm like, okay, I must be getting catfished, because he has a good job, he's good looking, he's tall, like, he's getting my fucking flow and my vibe. I was like, I just met him 5 hours ago, it was perfect. I show up, I see him sitting at the bar, he looks exactly like his photos, he looks great, and I'm just like, whoa, did I just nail this? Okay, there's my husband, bye, I'm done. And then I walk up, and immediately he's like, hey girl, and I'm thinking he's like doing a bit or something, and I'm like, hey, like, blah, blah, blah. Nope, that's his voice the whole entire time. And he literally had like a fucking TV show like background where it's like, his dad's a pastor, he grew up in the church, he's from the South, and he's clearly a closeted homosexual. And he kept being like, yeah, like, well, because we're gonna make out later, like, yeah.
Because I like kissing women.
Yeah, because I love it. Kissing girls is my fave. And I was like, he had 8 beers in 45 minutes.
Whoa.
I literally texted my sister, like, he kept fucking pounding drinks. We were sitting at the bar, and I literally texted my sister, I was like, Dawn, he had 8 fucking drinks in 40. What do I do? And she's like, you gotta get out. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then finally, I just walked back to the bar, and I was like, okay. I feel like I got like the vibe of us or whatever, like, I gotta head home. And he was like, okay. And then he parked further away, and I was like, do you want me to drive you to your car? And he's like, sure. And then he looked at me and he was like, you're lucky, because like I almost just like grabbed your face and like made out with you. And I was like,
this gay man is drunk.
Yeah, I was just like, buddy, I was like, if you do that, I'll slap the shit out of you. And then, I mean, he was smart. He never hit me up ever again. I was like, I mean, thank God. But,
he's happily married to a man named Timothy today.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope he has come to his full gay power and, just learn to like live with it. Because I was like, but now they have voice prompts, which is good. Because it's like, if a guy doesn't have a voice prompt, I will voice memo, because you can voice memo each other back now. And I'm like, if you don't voice memo me, I will not meet up with you. Because I'm like, what are you hiding? Because in some people, it's not necessarily that they're a closeted homosexual, which I love homosexuals. Just don't try to date me.
Yeah.
Like, or be honest, be like, I'm bi or whatever. Like, don't lie to me. But sometimes you can just hear other things in their voice. Like, you can just hear, like, their inflection, their cadence, their rhythm.
Their
vocabulary, like their humor, you can hear so much. And so there's another guy that we voice memoed, Monty puppy baby, you okay?
He likes to disrupt.
You okay, Monty puppy baby? Another guy, we voice memoed each other back and forth, and when after I would say something and I was like making fun of him or whatever, and like in a silly, playful way, and he would respond back and he would just be like, oh yes, I understand that. Oh, I see that. I see what you did there. That's funny. Yes, so I'm going to acquire this new business, and I feel like the merging process, and I was like, there's no sauce, there's no personality, and it's like, that's fine, some people will love that, but I don't. So, Hinge, good job, whoever's out there making sure we have voice prompts, but I deleted, I didn't say, I went on a date when I was out here, and same thing, like I had a couple back and forths, like voice memos, and I was like, okay, he sounds great, he speaks well for himself, he can banter and go back and forth, he sounds normal and has awareness, whatever. And so I was like, perfect. So like we went back and forth enough, like let's meet up. And I'm like usually I'm like, if I'm giving up my evening, because we do stand up and like whatever, it's like, you're taking me out. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not fucking showing up. I'm not getting all ready and whatever just to, like, have coffee. Now, normally I would just do a coffee date because I'm like, but it's during the day. But I'm giving up an evening because he does real estate bullshit, whatever, during the day. Anyway, and so I meet up with him, and he gets there, like, 5 minutes before me. I go to sit down. I'm like, hey, how are you? And, like, the waiter comes over, and he's like, do you want, like, a glass of wine or something? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, are you going to have like a glass of wine? And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I like to party. And I was like, mind you, waiter's still there. And I'm like, like what kind of party? And he's like, I like Coke. And I'm just like.
In front of the waiter?
Yeah, in front. And I'm just like, can I have a minute, please? And again, drugs is super. And this guy's in his 40s. So it's like, you're doing Coke. Like, and then he was like he would not stop doing voices. Oh, no. Like, he was doing voices. Like, when the waiter...
I would jump out of my skin.
He did a robot voice. There was an Italian voice. There was another voice that I couldn't really...
The Batman guy, the gay guy.
What is going on? It's like, because they know, like, we're comics. Monty, you're okay, puppy?
But there's nothing worse, like... There's nothing worse than trying to go out with a comedian, especially, like, a female comedian, and you're trying to compensate her out funny, and it's like, please don't do this to me.
Don't do this. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a chore. And he kept being like, do you want to order pasta? And I was like, and then the waiter would come over. He's like, hey, let me get some pasta. And I was like,
oh my god,
what is happening? Bless. And then he was saying that he was in real estate, and then but he doesn't own his own house, and I was like, that's it's not concerning, but it's like
it can, because you can have a real estate license and be really bad into real estate.
Yeah, but he had been doing it for like 20 years or something. So I'm like, what? There were just like things that to me I was just like, okay.
Probably can't close a house because every time they're talking to him, they're like, I don't know who my realtor is today, because one day he's Joe Pesci, and the next day he's like Martin Scorsese or whatever.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, that was interesting. And then he literally at one point, Monty, you're okay. Why are you barking so much, Monty? Did you go on a bad date? You never go on a bad date?
He never goes on a bad date.
Okay, good. You was a player, yeah, you is. But he, come sit on me. Do you want to sit on my lap? Yes. Please sit on my lap. Oh my God, it'd be so cute if you sat on my lap, Monty. Come on. Okay. Consent.
As much as you'll get.
Yeah. But he is so cute. It's like so distracting. I was like, I can't not make you the priority of my life, my entire life, Monty. Yeah. So at one point, I go. He's just talking about himself nonstop, and at one point I go, you can ask me a question too.
I'm so glad you said that. I've always wanted to say that, and I've never had the balls.
I'm just like, and he's like, oh yeah, okay. Do you have brothers and sisters? And you know, like when you're just over it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I felt so bad because I was like, I know that I'm like being a bitch, but it's like at this point, dude, it's just that they're obnoxious, and I can understand that like they're nervous or something or whatever. And I forget what he asked. He might have asked me like, what type of bits do I do? And I was like, I know that like you're just trying to get to know me. I was like, I just don't want to talk about my stand-up right now. And then he go, okay. And then he literally immediately just talked about himself the whole entire time again. And I was like, that's fine. And I was like, and at that point too, I was like, that's fair, because same thing. I was like, I'm shutting down. And the lesson that I learned is that I will never go to dinner ever again. Because the last 2 times I went to dinner was the heroin guy from many years ago, and this time. All the other times, like if I've met somebody up, it's just been for a drink, or it's just been for coffee, or I just naturally have met them organically, like in the real world. And I just deleted my Hinge again because I was like, I just need to meet someone naturally.
Yeah.
I can't just show up to a space and just not know somebody and being like, because once I get annoyed or once I'm like, this isn't it, it's like there's no turning it back or turning it off, and then I feel bad because then I'm just like sitting there miserably. No, that's not fair for them either. But don't do voices. Just don't do voices. And don't talk about yourself, and then maybe don't be coked out. I don't know if he was coked out, but it felt like he was coked out.
I hope he was, because at least that would be like, imagine if he was sober doing all his voices.
Yeah, I don't know what, but God bless. And I was kind of scarred from that, so.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I've had the same kind of knee-jerk reaction. I didn't delete Bumble, but I haven't been back on it since I came home from that date.
Yeah.
And I immediately re-downloaded and started paying for Raya again, because I was like, everyone on Raya's probably been on a flight.
Yeah, you're like that. I feel like I'm not asking for a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if a guy is quiet. I don't mind if he's awkward. I don't mind.
I'd so much rather that.
Stupid guy. Like, I don't mind if you're stupid, but don't be so performative and don't be so self-serving or narcissistic that like we're just I just feel like I'm a wall and you're just, what is this, like racquetball or whatever. It's like I'm just something for you to shoot to, so it hits back to you. It's like you really don't want to get to know me. And then he invited me to some football watching thing, and I just didn't respond because I was like, I'm sure he'll get the hint that I'm not interested. And I had been on another date, but there was like from a person that I met organically. And then I thought I was moving back to LA. And so I was like, I can't see you anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up not going back to LA. And then I saw this person again in the open. He's like, whatever. But yeah, that's really been my dating life. Pretty boring stuff.
I have hope for us, but I do think that it's probably not going to happen through a phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to manifest for myself right now, because the complexity of being a comedian, like really, it adds a layer of difficult. Like dating is difficult anyways, but it does add a layer to it.
That's a huge motherfucking layer.
Huge motherfucking layer.
Concrete layer of
truly.
fucking difficulty.
And so I think my dream situation would be, because there's a decent amount of comedians like in our circle who are successful enough that I feel like they should have normie friends but like their normie friends who are friends with successful comedians understand the world.
Yeah.
So I'd rather like not be the first comedian in your life so that you don't
Yeah.
have to be like training wheels with me about it. If you're like friends with a headlining comedian already, then you understand the world. Then I'm not going to meet you and you're going to be like, where do you perform? Tell me a joke or whatever.
What's your shtick about? I'll kill
Yeah.
you. That's my shtick. Is I kill you.
I gotta give respect. I'm reading Amy Silverberg's book right
Oh,
now.
nice. Yeah. What's her book about? I've seen her post about it, but I don't remember what is it about.
Yeah. So it's a novel. So
Okay.
it's just like totally fiction, but there's so much of her essence in the book, which
Love.
I'm really enjoying because I feel like I'm hanging out with her as I read it.
Fuck yeah.
But there was a paragraph that I just read like yesterday in it where she summed up like the 3 worst questions you can ask a comedian, which are, where do you go up? What do you talk about, and tell me a joke.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are really like the worst. Just don't ask those things. Don't ask those things. No comedian is ever happy to hear those. No. We never know how to answer them. Yeah. It's always off-putting.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes I'll go at like when they go, tell me a joke, I go, okay, you know when you're getting raped, right? This is the bit. So, and they're like, oh God. I'm like, oh, you don't like dark humor? Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. I guess I'll shut the fuck up then.
That's a good way to get out of it.
So I just do something, because it's like, you know, and like we've talked, to us it's so standard. It's like there's not a lot of other professions where people like demand that you perform your profession. Like, like, oh, I'm an accountant. It's like, okay, can you look at my Excel sheet or whatever the fuck? I don't even know words for fucking accountants. But and it's like, you know, or people are like, oh, I'm a singer. Like, oh, can you sing a high key above a middle C? Don't know if that's correct. And they're like, what? It's like, we don't ask anyone else to perform it, but like for us, it's like, and it's there's a way where I can tell when people are genuinely curious and they're like, oh wow, that's really cool, and they can ask in a way that's not demanding or patronizing. Most of the time when people do it, it's kind of like, especially if you're a cute girl, people are like, oh, you're a comedian? Prove it, you stupid bitch. Tell me a fucking joke.
That's how it
has that kind of energy to it. So, you know, and there's so many times where I meet men, even like, you know, at the mothership or whatever, and I'll see people, they're like, they don't understand that like the people who are locking up their phones are like comics, you know. And then they'll sit, they're like, oh, you guys are comics? And they're like, oh, tell us a joke. And it's like, you're going to see me inside in 2 fucking seconds. Like, can you fucking wait? But it's again, it's that energy of like, sorry, I'll wait. I don't know. Yeah.
I heard a dog barking outside. He always barks at other dogs. Hey, Monty, that other dog's doing it for us. We don't need help. We don't need help. He's got it. Come here. Sit. Come sit.
Come on, Monty. Come up here.
Sit. We miss you. We miss you on the couch. The people miss you.
The people miss you.
Okay.
People
he'll stop.
But yeah, there's that. But it's like, being a female comic for them and for us, it's a level of hard. Because for them, it's like, again, we're around a lot of men, and it's not in the typical capacity. So it's not like we're at an office. It's like you're traveling with these people. You're out late at night with these people. There's people are texting. Sometimes I get a text from a comic at 2 a.m. and it's like not romantic whatsoever. And they're like, wait, do you think this is a good tag? And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you explain to a person where they're like, no, they secretly like you. And it's like, no, for real, they don't. I'm just dope. What tag? You know what I mean? Or so it's like, it's on their end, it's hard. And it's like someone who, you know, they're in the public eye, and it's like the more and more successful they get,
the more everybody thinks they have like access to you.
Exactly. Or it's just, it's like the more it's like they're gonna be online or whatever. And so it's like, say you're dating someone and he's trying to be a pastor or a senator, or he's a lawyer, or you know, whatever. It's like they might not want their wife or their girlfriend, you know, online and, you know, doing jokes about whatever they're doing that might be viewed as negative in whatever line of work or something that he's in. And it's like, and I totally get that. And then for us, it's like dating someone where, you know, we're already around, because humor is important for us. So it's like, who is going to be more funny than the professional comics who are at the tippy top of their careers that I see all the time? Like, you got to compete with him. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, where it's like, you know, your brain has to be able to like be at a level where it's like you're doing tricks like how my brain does. And a lot of men just naturally don't, not men or women, just a lot of regular people like who aren't in the performance world, yeah, they're just, there's like times where I say things and people are like, Monterey, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're killing the vibe. Okay, this is fun. We laugh about suicide here. We don't cry, all right? But so it's like, yeah, there's like that element to it, just like with, you know, just the compatibility again of where it's like you want someone to ground you, but you don't want someone to kill your vibe, you know? But then on top of that too, it's like, it's for me, I'm naturally attracted to people who have a special skill set or talent because that's the world that I'm in. So it's like, if you're just an accountant or if you're just like, I don't know, you work in sales or something, I'm probably naturally not as attracted to that. Now again, like if you're a badass firefighter, that's hot because that's a talent, or if you're a badass fucking lawyer, that's hot, you know. So it's just like and also it's like, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but it's like I'm good looking, you know what I mean, and I'm in shape, so it's like you also have to be good looking and in shape, you know. So yeah,
Don't ever feel bad about that. You know what you're bringing to the table.
For sure. So there's a part of me where I'm like, you know what? As a woman, I've never seen the female equivalent of like Hugh Hefner, where it's like, he's just this guy. He's got 3 girlfriends. They live with them. They're like his assistants and also, you know, fun. And so I'm like, maybe I'll just have 3 houseboys that I pay, and they're my security guards / you know, hanging up my TV and fixing whatever bullshit around the house. And I just have 3 boyfriends that I pay. I don't know.
It's time for women to get into that space because you see it all the time, even with like, I don't remember what happened to him or if he's even like a thing anymore, but like the Dan Balzerian or whatever, where you just like have hot bitches around you all the time because you have so much money.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more women in those spaces.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. And so I'm like, maybe that's what we're here to do. Maybe that's our sole purpose, to come down here and abuse a bunch of hot boys.
That's right.
I'm going to pay them. What's the issue?
They're consenting to being here.
Hello, yeah, and they all have to have muscles. Their shirts are off all the time.
Yeah, everybody's got to know how to anchor some drywall.
Hello, that's not a lot to ask for. Yeah. Fix my car, pump the gas, wash it, and you're getting paid.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna help them with.
And leave whenever you want.
Leave whenever you want.
Sign an NDA though.
Hello, I will be hitting you. Not that big a deal. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, but also I've gotten to the point too where I'm so confident in myself in terms of where it's like I don't need a significant other. I would like one. This is the longest I've been single in a long time. It's been about 2 years, and it's been very nice. It's been so nice. And so I think that now where it's like I could see myself intertwining my world with someone else again, but it has to be at such a level of where it's like, I'm not sharing a small apartment ever again. I'm not, you know, I'm not going 50-50. Everybody that I've ever dated, I've done 50-50, whether it's our living expenses or us going out to eat. And, you know, again, there's certain elements that I don't mind, but it's like, if you want me to like stay at home and like take care of the kids or be the mother of your child, you're paying the mortgage. Figure it the fuck out.
Because otherwise it's so uneven.
I gotta work and carry a baby and take it. Like, fuck you. So yeah, so there's just like certain elements of where I'm just like, I'm not willing to, I will look online and I see like these couples and it's like, sorry, it gives me like hope again where I'm like, oh wow, these type of people exist where they're like, yeah, my boyfriend or my husband, like if they try to pump the gas, they're like, what are you doing? I've never had my boyfriend, I've had one boyfriend who would sometimes do it, but like for the most part, nobody pumped my gas, nobody, you know, made sure that my car was washed and like that they went in and like took the maintenance in, whatever. And yeah, you're like, oh, you can have that. And like someone again, where it's like, I remember there's like times where I've like dated someone and I'm like struggling financially, say like I lost a job or something. And it's like I would wish that I had a boyfriend that was like, hey, like get on your feet, like I'll cover rent for 3 months. And this person was making good money too. Yeah. And it's like, you don't even have the, I remember like, this is like when we were open micing back in the day. And you know how like some of the mics like cost $5 and he'd be like, and don't forget, like I paid for towels, so like you owe me $5. And I was like, I'm fighting for my life financially right now, and you're my boyfriend, and you're literally coming up to me about $5 fucking. Like, gross.
Yeah.
No,
that's not acceptable.
Yeah, so it's like, and again, it's like I plan on being successful and like making my own money. So it's like if I am in a position where it's like, I'm fucking killing it, of course I'll spoil my man too. But it's like let's spoil each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I don't know. But anyways, but if it never happens, like I'm so perfectly fine with being Chelsea Handler or whatever and just being like, yep, I'm single, I'm the cool aunt, I got my dogs. I don't have any dogs right now, but I'll get them. I got my dogs and I'll do a bunch of I'll adopt kids. Like I'll do whatever, but it's like I'm not gonna have someone in my life who's like bringing any consistent fucking stress. And it's like, obviously there's always external things that are gonna happen. Somebody loses a job, somebody's dad dies, there's
You
gonna be
start painting on heroin.
Yeah, start painting on heroin. As the journey goes with one's life. There's gonna be external circumstances that are gonna put stress on a relationship. But if there's this constant internal thing where it's like this person's really jealous, this person's really insecure, this person's really petty, this person's really manipulative, it's like all that stuff. It's like I'll never deal with that ever again. I'll never deal with it ever again.
That's the piece that comes though when women are single for a long time. Yeah. And they establish their social connections, they ground themselves in their friendship, they ground themselves in their passions, and you zoom out and you're like, what the hell was I doing trying to like please somebody that was not a good fit when everything is so peaceful without like commandeering some partner because you're like, oh, I need to be in a relationship right now because I need to check this box off. And
totally.
Once you release that, it's this just like, you can't be bothered.
No.
Like you won't put up with anything.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be, because if you like bring value to my life and I will sacrifice things. I will find a way to be in my soft girl era. I will do the things. I would love to take care of someone if I felt like we were taking care of each other in ways that were like mutually beneficial.
No problem being a housewife. Yeah. I love to cook. I'm like you, like I love being healthy and like studying about like supplements and nutrients and vitamins and grounding, meditating, breathwork. Like I love all that stuff that's like naturally like in my, a part of my life. And so it's like if I have a partner, it's like you're gonna be so healthy. Like obviously if the person wants to be, but I can't imagine myself dating someone who doesn't want to genuinely like be a healthy person. But it's like you're gonna eat good and healthy and make, you're gonna live a long life and you're gonna, be laughing all the time. And so it's like I have no problem with, it's like I would stay home with the kids, I will cook, I will clean, but it's like, you are going to provide, but if I also date a partner where it's like, and we're madly in love and it's like our lifestyle only works with 2 incomes, it's like I don't have a problem with that, but it's like, but then I'm not going to be the one, being the sole caregiver of our children either, and thankfully it's like we are comics, so it's like we do have our days free and our nights, so it's like, yeah, you're going to be home with the baby at night and on weekends when mama's doing work, so I don't know what the future holds, but I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine with being alone, adopting kids. I'm fine with, I was like, first of all the robots they're gonna be out there. People are like, who's gonna take care of you when you're older? The fucking robots, bitch. Yeah, that's who. Or my nieces and nephews. They think they're not gonna take care of Aunt Monterey. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because Aunt Monterey's gonna be rich, so you're all gonna want to come to my house, and you're gonna have to
secure your spot in the will.
Yeah, hello. You want to be in the will? Let's go. Change my diaper. But yeah, so like I'm just not afraid anymore, and I think I dated from a place before where I'm like, there's this trope of single female comics, and you don't. I feel like I deep down have this fear of like being that trope, and now I'm just like, I don't care. You can all think you can think I'm a psycho, you can think I'm whatever you can think of, but it's like anyone who's in my inner circle, everybody knows I'm dope. So if I'm alone, it's because you not dope. Yeah, because you not dope.
Wow. What are you looking forward to right now?
I'm looking. The thing that when you just said that, and my fear was the heat of Texas. That's not what I'm looking forward to. But what I'm looking forward to is I don't know. I'm looking forward to. God, we're gonna have to cut this. I'm like, I'm looking forward to death. believe in God so much that I can't wait to die. And all of this, whatever Earth is. No, I think I'm looking forward to, I definitely want to be back in either LA or New York. I don't know when that timeline is, but I think Austin has been a very good city to me in a way where it's like taught me things that I wouldn't have learned had I not been in LA or New York. Because it's like people always say that you're in a bubble when you're in LA and New York, and you are. And coming out here, there's a new appreciation that I have for, bigger cities. And I think that I've had the time, like Austin has felt like, and I don't mean this in an offensive way whatsoever, in case anyone's like, Austin's not that. But Austin for me has felt like a rehab where I had, and not like an actual drug addiction in Los Angeles, but I think I had an addiction to suffering and an addiction to toxic relationships. Because again, that's all. The cops were involved with my parents' relationships. And they got involved in my relationships. And like that's like to me was like love, was like that chaos, that drama, that willing to get arrested. And I didn't get arrested. But you know what I mean, like that level of like this is bad. And since I've been out of it and I've been able to detach like anyone or anything or any habit that like had its claws in me, I've been able to like get out of the chaos and like get my head above water and breathe. And I feel like this is the healthiest I've ever been, even though I've been like healthy like physically, but I feel like mentally I've been my fucking healthiest. And I've always been a spiritual person too, but it's like you can only be as spiritual like as your nervous system allows. And I think Austin has given me such an opportunity to like get out of those habits and get out of those fucking patterns and move in a way that I haven't been able to. So when I do go back to LA and New York, I feel like it'll be the first time that I've been out of survivor mode in those big cities. And so like that's a genuine, I'm looking forward to that.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Well, it's inspiring. I'm glad you're here. You've been like my little lighthouse because I was so worried about moving here and what it would be like. So that's all really nice to hear.
Oh, good. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think everybody's journey is very different. And, I always think about, I'm like, Jesus or Moses, whoever. It's like, it could be Muhammad for you, whoever. But it's like, there's usually when people are on like the journey, and by like the journey, I mean just like self-discovery and evolving as a human. I think, you're a person too, where it's like you yearn to be the best version of yourself. And that's not just like physically, but it's mentally and it's spiritually as well, where you're like, I want to be at the top of my game, I think most people who are on the journey, it's like, you're going to have to go to different places.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, the journey was you went from Ohio to LA and that's it. That's the whole journey. And you're like, that doesn't feel like a journey. That feels like a trip. Yeah. So it's like, you're going to have to go to Austin. You might have to go to New York. You might have to go fucking Alaska. You don't know. Or back to Ukraine.
So sorry. I don't have to go back to
You're like, no.
You Eastern Bloc. You weren't too far.
Yeah, I was somewhere in there. Yeah, but it's like, and you probably will go back to Ukraine at one point because there'll be a family reunion or something, and then you get in touch more with your roots, and you come out with some sausage and some
pierogi spaghetti.
Galina's Ukrainian sausage. But it's like, yeah, and it just keeps stacking like that, and I think that's what's so cool about our jobs too, is like that we always do have the opportunity to go to other places, because these other places like do feed our souls in ways where you're like, oh, LA might just be serving tacos, and it's like, you need barbecue too. You need barbecue.
You need some barbecue.
You do.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Monterey Martinez, where can people find you and see what you're up to?
I'm on Instagram, so Monterey M, that's MONAREYM. Sometimes I hear my name and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Just my real name. And then I'm also on, I think, TikTok and Instagram are the same. I'm gonna start posting on YouTube. I've been saying that every year of my life. I'm gonna do it, guys. But you can find me on YouTube, and I think it's the same too. Monterey M.
Nice. Well, thanks so much much for coming back and doing the show.
Thank you for having me. Yay.
Of course, and thanks everybody for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Yay, I think that was like
That was about an hour?
hour-ish.
Okay, perfect.
Sometimes similar to doing a set, I can kind of like feel it. I do
Yeah.
need to buy like a digital clock at some point so I can have it to like keep an eye out. But
Yeah, no, I think we started right at like 2:30,
Yeah.
so we're like right there.
thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
I forgot that you were still recording there. I'm like, dude, fucking what? Okay.